Hello everyone, this is the 11th and 12th episode of my 2026 Portfolio Challenge series where I try to beat the market by testing 4 strategies that range from sensible to slightly unhinged. Each of these started out with $100,000, and currently only one of them is beating the market. As you can see, the entire market is down big the past couple of weeks, and my portfolios are no exception, but they've been performing slightly better than the market specifically these past couple of weeks. Disclaimer, this is for entertainment and educational purposes only. I am not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. This is all done on a paper trading account and these are all simulated trades with no real capital at risk. So this week we're just going to go over some of my portfolios' performances. Again, I made no changes this week. I will be buying Micron in my deep value portfolio, but the pie charts you'll see coming up are not different than the other weeks. So I'm just going to skim by them. And then some of the watch list news and global news. I'm going to be talking a bit about the macro, what's going on in the world, geopolitics, etc. I'm not a professional at that, so this is just what I'm hearing from other YouTubers. Then I want to talk about Micron earnings, Adobe earnings maybe, and Gamestop and Nike have their own upcoming earnings. So I'll be going over those very shortly. Again, these pie charts haven't changed. 2026 main portfolio is basically, like I always say, my gut feelings, my value picks, and high IV stocks. You can just check it out if you want. And these are my earnings per stock for the main portfolio, the profits and losses. Yeah, not much has changed. Most of these stocks I'm already out of, so we'll see what happens. Here's the deep value portfolio. So this is just pure forward PE plays with guardrails. So this has $20,000 in cash right now, but I will be buying Micron with that because Micron just entered the forward PE range with their recent amazing earnings, you could say. Absolutely phenomenal earnings. And then same thing with the deep value portfolio. Again, most of these I'm already out of. These two I'm already out of. And then my choice value portfolio, which is basically my own value formula, basically price targets, and they're weighted by conviction and high IV. So as you can tell, Hood is dominating with Meta, Micron, SanDisk, Celsius, NVIDIA, and TSM. To be honest, Celsius, I should probably exit that. But right now they're pretty far undervalued, so we'll see. And again, I'm already out of most of these, and as you can see, they're mostly all losses. Next week it should be better. And here's my new stock portfolio losses. Robinhood, yeah, I'm down pretty big on that. And GameStop, I've already exited that. I profited $8,000 at the beginning of the year. So some of the macro news. War in Iran, in case you guys haven't heard, we're in the 3rd week now, 22nd day. There's rumors of 2,500 US Marines heading out to Hormuz, the Strait of Hormuz. So I read some article that said that the Arab nations agreed to help Israel and the US against Iran. I'm not sure what that entails. Just an article I read. And I also saw that the US and Ukraine signed a big deal where Ukraine will sign their cheap anti-Shahed drones, which are basically DJX kind of drone kind of things that carry explosives and they explode next to the Shahed drones. So they're going to be flying over and teaching the US how to use those. And then oil, which I do not trade oil. So oil is up, not as much as people thought it would be. So that's pretty good. And finally, basically, I'm asking, is the war coming to a close? Trump and Netanyahu basically said that they thought the war was coming to a close. It was going to be 3 to 4 weeks at the beginning. We're in the 22nd day and doesn't feel like it's coming to a close anytime soon. So we'll see what happens with that. Currently, it's actually looking like it's escalating. Trump said he's going to be attacking some of Iran's energy production plants. We'll see what happens with that. And Iran basically retaliated, saying that US or Israel attacks any of their energy production, then they'll attack everyone else's desalination plants, which is a big deal in the Middle East. So some of the Micron earnings, I have a big whoa here. Yeah, these earnings were phenomenal. $23 billion in revenue for the quarter. That's insane. I'm just pulling this up right now, just so you guys can try and understand this. Here's the quarterly, 23.8 billion for the quarter. Not for the year, for the quarter. That is insane. And what's even crazier is that they said that they're expecting 33 billion for next quarter, meaning they've just got orders coming in and piling in, which basically brings their forward PE under my value of, I think it was 8 at the beginning. So definitely under that. Just amazing, amazing what's happening with them. Them and SanDisk are just going to fly up. Yeah, with these new orders, my new price target is 950 for them. My old price target was 750. This is actually less than what my math is showing. My math is showing over 1,000 by the next year, but these haven't been updated. This also hasn't been updated, to be honest. I'm just using Wall Street projections, and it looks like they're being slow to update them. So when it updates, these will be much larger. But I also think that because of its cyclicality, that 22 PE that I'm giving it is kind of low. So I'm being conservative, I think, by saying 950 is my goal for the next year. And by the end of this year, I'm expecting 870, 900, around that area. So definitely Micron's going to go insane once this whole war thing ends. And they said something about their long-term contracts in their call, that they've got contracts through 2027, I believe they said. So basically, if there is a cyclicality thing going on here, I don't think it's that bad for them. And then Adobe earnings. So I am not super happy with Adobe. My old price target was 340, the new one's 350. Basically, the only thing they said is that they're not dead yet. Not super happy with it, but given their price, that is still pretty undervalued. So just so we can pull it up really quick, let's go quarterly. And yeah, you can see not insane, but it also didn't drop off. So what Claude was saying, that they can replace basically everything Adobe is doing, we're saying that it's not actually greatly affecting them. And Adobe is a pretty mature company. So yeah, it's got a pretty small forward PE, but I also don't think that it deserves a super high forward PE, just because their growth is, 11-ish%. So it would take a bit higher than that. So I think 15 PE is deserved. So their forward PE being 15 brings them up to 340-ish, which is my price target. Yeah, I'm not going to say too much more about this. I'm not super bullish on Adobe personally, but so I don't think I'm investing in them. And finally, the Gamestop earnings. So my price target for them currently is 22. What do I want to see from them? I don't really care about the revenue and operating income, to be honest. What I want to see is the Ryan Cohen deal being talked about, written about, anything. I want to see any acquisitions that they were talking about a few months ago happening, because right now it kind of seems like they're pulling us all along with this. And then I was saying here that Bitcoin, it's going to negatively affect the EPS for this quarter, because GameStop for some reason puts Bitcoin investments on their earnings. It doesn't make sense to me, but that's what they do. So that's why I don't use the standard EPS. I use operating income. But yeah, Bitcoin's basically roughly where it's been for the past few months. So that shouldn't actually negatively impact the next quarter. But it looks like people are pretty bullish on this quarter for GameStop, with Wall Street estimates being 1467, which is only slightly lower than last year. And this is after cutting a ton of their brick and mortar stores. So we'll see. I am cautiously optimistic, but to be honest, like I said, I don't care about the revenue and operating income right now. I just want to see guidance, forward guidance. That's all I care about. So Nike, their price target is currently 47 for me. I am not super bullish. Again, for them, I don't really care about the revenues and their operating income right now. I just want to see guidance. I want to see them talking positively, and more than 12 billion in revenue. Wall Street is expecting 11.2 billion. I want to see 12. I want to see them basically telling everyone we're going to do better. That's it. But until then, I am not very bullish on Nike. I do still hold them, but that's a sunk cost fallacy for me. And to be honest, it's bad practice that I'm still holding them. Yeah, so that's all I've got for the presentation. I kind of wanted to look at the charts just a minute. I don't want to stay too long here. Then US oil. So US oil, I think it's being artificially held low, to be honest, under 100, which that's a good thing. And this is just going to crash the second the war ends. So it's risky going either or, because if you short it, then it can just fly up to 150 still. If you go long, it can just crash. That's why I don't trade oil. Then I also wanted to check gold in the US dollar. Wow, this is actually collapsed, which is crazy considering gold is basically a risk-off asset. And Bitcoin hasn't really moved at all, I think. Yeah, war started here. We're the exact same place when the war started, basically, even a bit up. And Bitcoin is a risk-on asset. So I think basically the market is just stagnant right now. They're just waiting for the war to end, waiting to see what happens to the oil fields, what happens to everything else. And yeah, generally markets start to go up around a month after wars start, regardless if they end or not. So that's what I expect will happen. And I also do think the Strait of Hormuz will be opening in the next few. Yeah, you can see here. If there's even the smallest attack on electrical infrastructure, the Islamic IRGC, the entire region will be plunged into darkness. I think it's all talk. I think they can't do anything. And I'm pretty sure the US will control Hormuz by the end of next week, or in worst case, 2 weeks. So yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for listening. I'll see you guys next week. Good luck next week, and bye-bye.